Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Hoops with Noops. Of course, I am Alex Noops Christensen. You can find me on Twitter _Noops. I produce Hoops with Noops for the folks at FTN Bets in video form on Monday and Friday. But make sure you also catch the written previews on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. Thanks so much for watching today. Before we get started, make sure you give me a thumbs up here and that you're subscribed to this channel. We really appreciate it. And if there's anything that you can think of while I'm doing the show that could be better, something that you might be interested in, a question you have in general, dump it down there in the comments. We'll be sure to get to it on the very next episode. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. And of course, happy Friday. It's a great day and an interesting day in terms of NBA scheduling because, part of this in-season tournament this year is we're doing a lot of things that we've never done before. And we have the in-season tournament quarterfinals. Those will be on Monday and Tuesday. And to help give teams rest, to give everybody a little bit of a break here, what the league has done is set up a Sunday where there will be no NBA basketball, just football on Sunday. So everyone's going to have that day off. And then the teams that play Monday and Tuesday will just be the quarterfinals. That's only 8 teams. That means the rest of the league, the other 22 teams, will have off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, some of them possibly Wednesday. Some of them are playing tomorrow. So a lot going on. We had a jam-packed week. If you look, basically everybody played every other night. There's a lot of teams that are playing again tomorrow. So there's a lot of back-to-backs. A few teams tonight are playing on a back-to-back. So a lot in the air, a lot to figure out tonight. But overall, not too big of a slate. We have, I believe it's 6 games. Yes, 6 to talk through. I've got bets in 2 of them, and then 4 I'll kind of walk you through what I'm thinking, and the rest of them once we get to Not for Noops. But be sure to sign up for FTN Bets. I believe we're done the special, but look for maybe another one around Christmas time. And as always, you look down there in the bottom in the banner, there's a 10% off discount code, and it's for everything. And there is so many great things. It's not just content. There are tools, there are stats, there is data, there are ways where you're going to be able to do just all sorts of great stuff. And as always, make sure you get into the FTN Bets Discord. A lot of really good stuff there as well. You get my bets as early as possible. There's some great conversations going in there and a lot of value flying around. But let's get into the slate tonight. And we will start first here with the Washington Wizards at the Orlando Magic. The Magic are 11.5-point favorites tonight. The total sits at a monstrous 237. And that makes sense if you look at some of these Wizards games and especially these Magic games over the last couple weeks. The Wizards, as we know, have been fast-paced, not interested in defense, just points all over the place in these Wizards games. And last time they played the Magic, it was basically just that. You look at it, the Magic won that game 139-120, and it really just looked like the Magic were having fun playing basketball. It's the 3rd best defense in the NBA. They generally play at a little bit of a slower pace. But knowing that they really could beat this Wizards team, they got off to a really hot start. I'm sure you've seen the highlight of them recreating the Miami Heat alley-oop with Dwayne Wade. It's really great watching this young team make that next step forward and be a real contender, I think, this year, to maybe even definitely to get to the playoffs. I'm curious to see what they can do once they get there. I don't expect them to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, but could be a tough first-round opponent for somebody. And tonight, this is ahead of a game against the Brooklyn Nets. They go into Brooklyn tomorrow. It's a little bit of a revenge spot. They lost to Brooklyn last time they played. And what I expect to see here tonight, a lot of teams slow down the first game of a back-to-back, try to save everyone's legs, not give up too much this first night so they have a chance of winning the second night as well. So I think despite the fact that we've seen a Magic team that has been much, much better offensively the last few weeks, they've really embraced having to play smaller without Wendell Carter Jr. That puts more shooters on the floor, creates more space, and they finally have a guard, Jalen Suggs, who's shooting the ball very well. It's a team that was really weak in the backcourt and has really needed somebody who can shoot well. So it's been great watching them play. But I put all this together, and it might sound like I'm building up to an over, and maybe I should be, and it's a little bit contrarian here. This number is actually moving up. I think this will probably even close around 238, 235, but I was happy to go under 237.5 here. I think, again, we'll see some regression from the last game where both teams shot very well. I expect Orlando to play at a much slower pace tonight, again, with the game coming ahead tomorrow. And even before running all that different stuff, I took a look at my numbers and some projections. I got this game at 234 points, tweaked a few things to see kind of what it looks like here. And again, barring some sort of outrageous pace or a really overly efficient shooting night for either team or both teams, I really struggle to see how this number is going to get so high. I know, again, the Magic offense has been much better, but this is a team that had totals in the high two teens, low 220s up until maybe a few days ago. So I think this is a little bit of an overreaction by the market. We'll go under here. And again, you might even get a better number. I like this, honestly, anything 237 or higher. So like the under here. I honestly might add a little bit more if it does keep rising. Be sure to check in the FTN Bets Discord. That'll be in there. Second game that I have a bet on, New York Knickerbockers go to the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are 2-point favorites. The total sits at 217. And just want to double check here because this is the second night of a back-to-back for the New York Knicks, and this has been a particularly tough spot for them this season. Tom Thibodeau teams are famous for giving max effort, playing at high intensity, no matter what. And I just talked about in the last game how a lot of teams in the first night of a back-to-back like to slow things down and try to give themselves a chance. The Knicks do not do that. So not only are they playing a style of basketball that can be more grueling and fatiguing on their players, they're going to try to play it 2 nights in a row. And they've really been poor in the second night of these back-to-backs. They're 1-3 this season, and they're 4 in the 4 times they've had to play on the second night of 2 nights in a row with an average of 99 points. And that's up to 99, that's as low as 99, even though they scored 122 points against the Hornets in their 1 win in the second night of their back-to-back. You put that together with this matchup tonight against the Toronto Raptors. This is a team that has everything that you need to slow down this Knicks team. They have size in Jakob Poeltl and pretty much all over the team to slow down the Knicks rebounders. They have wings that can slow down Randall and Barrett and plenty of athleticism to put in front of the Knicks guards here. I think New York is really going to struggle to score the ball. Thought about playing a full game under here. I have this at 214.5, 215. So small edge there. But what I like best is this Knicks team total under. I really enjoy these team totals. I think it gives us a chance to isolate things a little bit. There's less variance in this number, and specifically in this angle, it's a really great spot to take advantage of the fact that the Knicks really struggle to play basketball 2 nights in a row. Again, you go back and look at those numbers. There was a 122 there, but the other 3 games were below 100 points, and one of them even below 90. So it's a bad matchup. It's a bad spot. Everything adds up to the Knicks having a really tough night trying to score the basketball tonight. I grabbed under 106.5. You'll see that's at plus 100. One of the things I like about our friends at MGM, and make sure you get an account there. I'm sure you can sign up through FTN. There's some great bonuses that way. MGM offers some alternate team totals. So if you look around most of the market, it's 107.5, minus 110, even minus 115 right now. That's a perfectly fine bet if that's all you have. But if you have a chance here to get the 106.5 at plus 100, the 10, 15 cents that we're getting here is worth way more than, kind of what we're getting. Was worth way more than what we're giving up selling this point. So I like this quite a bit. And this is starting to tick up, honestly. I'm curious to see what this total does. If we get to a total here that's a little higher, even up to 108.5, we start to see in the market, I might go back and add a little bit more. So again, make sure you're in that FTN Bets Discord. You'll see those bets then. Those are the 2 games I like. We have 4 more games here for Not for Noops. Again, I like to give you guys some thoughts and projections on all the other games. It's tough to bet every game every night, and some are just not for me. So let's get into those. And the first one is a game that I will be watching and would love to bet, but the Philadelphia 76ers are playing the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are 6-point favorites. The total is 224, and we don't know what Joel Embiid's doing. He was a surprise scratch for his last game and just a really poor move by the Sixers. I'm a huge fan, obviously, of the team, but could not have been more disappointed. Embiid not on the injury report at all before the New Orleans Pelicans game is announced out shortly before tip. I look at this number here at -6. There's no Kristaps Porzingis for the Boston Celtics, so that's worth a point or 2 for them, obviously. But this number looks kind of right in between what it would look like if Embiid plays or he doesn't. I think if Embiid is out, we're going to be looking at a number around 8, 8.5. If Embiid is in, we're going to look at something around maybe 4, even 3.5 for the Boston Celtics. Maybe a little bit more than that, but I just really think this is a spot where I struggle to see what we can do until we know what Embiid's in. If I knew he was in, I would love to play this +6 for the Philadelphia 76ers. If he's out, it's probably a good bet on the Celtics, but we just don't know. Next game up here, the Memphis Grizzlies are 6-point underdogs in Dallas. The total sits at 227. This game particularly tough to handicap with both teams having to play again tomorrow and no Luka Doncic for the Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie Irving has done a great job playing without Luka and leading the team, as well as playing with Luka. And tonight, it'll be his team, and I expect them to do very well. I think they're deserving of being 6-point favorites, but this is a hard number to make and something that I really don't know if I have a good feel for it. So I'm happy to kind of pass here. It's really hard to figure out what this game is going to look like. The San Antonio Spurs visit the New Orleans Pelicans, and there will be no Victor Wembanyama, which means we go back to what effectively is last year's San Antonio Spurs roster, which is one of the worst teams I can remember in years in the NBA. And this should be a spot where the New Orleans Pelicans absolutely destroy them, and the market agrees. The Pelicans are 12.5-point favorites. The total is 237.5. And I would love to bet the Pelicans, but this will be C.J. McCollum's second game back. That can be tough for players off an injury as they try to recover from game action and play again for the first time. They'll also be bringing back Trey Murphy III, who had a big injury this offseason. He's going to come back. So the Pelicans are going to try to use some time to reintegrate those players, which could be time where it's good and easy for the Spurs to catch up a little bit, even as bad as they are. And then the Pelicans have to play it tomorrow night in Chicago. So this could be a spot where New Orleans comes out, plays a great first half. The Spurs catch up in the second half, and you're really sweating this really big number. I thought about betting the Pelicans in the first half, but the market has them as 8.5-point favorites. So the market's telling you there's the same dynamic that I'm expecting. A great Pelicans first half, maybe Spurs second half, but nothing to bet now. And the last game of the night, a really fantastic matchup between the Denver Nuggets and Phoenix Suns. Unfortunately, we don't know who's playing. Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, and Devin Booker are all questionable tonight. If everybody plays, I like the over in this spot. I think we'll see a really fun game for both teams. Again, I've been waiting to bet some of these Phoenix Suns team total overs. If we ever get to see Bradley Beal with this group, he'll be out tonight. But should be a fun game. Can't bet it until we know who's playing. So those are the 4 games that I don't like and will be avoiding. Again, if I add anything, even some player props, that'll all be in the FTN Bets Discord. But the first game I did have a bet, again, the Washington Wizards in Orlando. I like the under here. It's been really tough betting some of the unders for this Magic team with the offense being as good as they are. But looking ahead to their game tomorrow, looking ahead to their game tomorrow in Brooklyn, should be a slow-paced affair, and I expect them to get back to playing good defense. In the Knicks-Toronto Raptors game, I like a Knicks team total under here. Again, the Knicks really bad on the second night of back-to-back, so we have a chance right now to take advantage of that. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Again, you can find the written version of Hoops with Noops Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. A video version Monday and Friday. Again, really appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Give us a thumbs up and just drop a comment. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. And best of luck until we're back. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday for some NBA in-season tournament quarterfinals action.